Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, we all are participants of the art world, be it as an artist, as a gallerist, art trader, museum people, or advisors. We all are confronted with the certainty that the art world is shifting towards new shores, digitization, change of the ways how art is traded, international exchange of art beyond the borders, changing relationship between artists, gallerists, collectors, museums. Imagine how it would be to find a way to cope with these challenges together. Imagine that we could establish forums for discussion and exchange in Beijing, in Singapore, and Berlin. I have to make you a confession, but before I would like to ask you a question. How many art conferences have you been attending during the last years? 5? Please give me a sign. 5? I was sure you would give me that sign. 3? 1? Okay, a couple of you have won. So let me tell you, I've been on several different of these events, I would say maybe 3 or 4 during the last 5 years. And I have often been bored to the bottom. I caught myself with the thoughts in the air, thinking about our family holiday or wondering about the strange ceiling of the assembly hall. So what I want to say is, it does not always make sense at the first sight why you should attend an art conference. So why did we come to the conclusion to do a conference on our own? The answer is simple, and I have to say it is ambitious. We want to do it different. But what makes the difference? I give you 4 reasons. First, and most important, it's you, all of you. We do this by invitation only. That is, what we want to create is an exchange between the panelists and the assembly. We want you to encourage you to take part of it. All of you are experts in a certain field, and we want to participate of your knowledge, of your experiences, and of your personalities. Only by this, we all have the chance to learn, to understand, to discover new tracks underneath the surface. Please help us to take an active part. Second, we had the chance to start this together with an international partner. We are happy that our first step is together with the Art World Forum from Singapore. The only way to discuss the challenges that the art world is confronted with is on an international scale. Anni Oates and Veronica Neo from Singapore helped us tremendously to establish today's program. Thank you very much for this. Both of us are convinced that we can only discover new ways to run the art market by international cooperation. Third reason, we had an advisory board gathering a diverse and excellent range of personalities of the art world. Marte Gnüpp was delivering us strategic expertise to the trade of art. Elizabeth Markiewicz is an entrepreneur with long and successful experience. Shirley Sanderson runs the studio of the world artist Zhang Fanzhou. Nicole Stava is a collector and art historian. Li Zhenshuo is curator and multimedia artist and splits his time between Zurich and Beijing. And last but not least, Michael Müller is a celebrated artist himself and lectures as professor at the University of Arts in Berlin. What a treat to have these experts supporting us. Many points of view, lots of ideas and visions. Plus, we had a knowledge partner, Independent Connectors, art agency that specializes in youth thinking in the art market. Christian Schwan, Caroline Pfeiffer, Nina Raftopoulos, and Christina Werner. And the last point of my reasons why we think we can make it a little different. We are a non-profit organization. And that means We are neutral. We are not following our own hidden agenda. Now, isn't it at least a bit strange anyway that a non-profit organization under German tax law tackles art market questions at all? Yes and no. Yes, because the art market, because market issues should not be what non-profit organizations shall aim at in general. No, because the art market is in many ways a very peculiar market. It is not only a market in the sense that it works under the law of supply and demand. Art is not merely a merchandising good. Actually, it is far more than that. Art is, to put it into a rather pathetic formula, our heritage. It is the mirror of our present, and it is the impetus of our future. Art is vital for our democratic discourse, and it is indispensable for running our open societies. Living in a market economy and accepting that artists shall have this to secure their livelihood, we need a functioning art market to guarantee the capacity of the arts in our society. Hence, presence and future of the art market have to be of highest interest for everybody who takes responsibility for the cultural outcome of our society. So it is not that surprising at the end to have our foundation hosting an art business conference. You might understand clearer why we think the art market is important when I tell you something about our own history. Our main focus is culture, as I mentioned before. Max Liebermann House, our seat where we are right now, is the former working and living space of an artist, the eminent German impressionist painter Max Liebermann. He was not only a famous painter, he was at the same time for many years president of the Prussian Academy of the Arts, and he was citizen of this town with an extraordinary sense of social responsibility. And he was, and this is a crucial point, definitely a mover and the shaker of the rising art market in this town of his epoch. But why this format, a conference? We could have decided to support the art market directly by organizing, for example, an art fair. Well, first of all, we did. Our foundation was one of the main sponsors in the first year of the Art Forum Berlin, which is now deceased. Yet it would not have been satisfactory for our purpose to merely pour money into the market. Our aim is not to conserve the market as it is in its actual shape by supporting the actual participants. What we are heading for is to help Berlin to become part of an international network of debating platforms. We are sure that the art market is on the edge of fundamental changes. At the end, please allow me that I personally would like to give a very big and hearty thank to Sebastian Pflum and to our team. Caroline Friese, Franka Pier, and Franziska Fenner. Sebastian and I started with our talks about this idea some 3 years ago, and I always felt inspired and enhanced by these encounters. Thank you for all these moments and for the incredible job you have done for the conference today, Sebastian. Dear colleagues and friends, let me finish by wishing all of us plenty of good thoughts, intense encounters, and rising spirits. May this be the beginning of a series of events. Thank you very much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You may be wondering why, we've decided to partner our talking business. And, you may be wondering how it could be possible for an Asian startup in itself, with its challenges, like how we managed to emerge in this space at this time, the very right time to be on a global perspective. It's because it was serendipitous that we found the right local partner with an alignment in values, which is exactly to select and handpick a very important group of leaders and influencers like you to create the changes from within, but also, you know, what I think is that we should bear in mind also to allow always a small percentage at the very least of external perspective to create successful good change, because change is never created when you are comfortable with the status quo. And so we should always question the status quo, question the current market as it is, question our own behaviors as they are right now, and see things in a new perspective. So I would encourage you to really open your minds today and feel very engaged if you can with the speakers who will be on stage, and, you know, ask questions and ask away. Thank you.